Alex, Kaden's here. Thank you for coming so much. I'm very, very excited for this episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think everybody, once you watch it, you're going to understand why your enthusiasm about what you do and the family atmosphere that you have and the customer base that we're going to talk about. Me being one of them is very enthusiastic about what you do. So that's basically what we're here to talk about, along with your family and whatever else you want to share with us. But I just want to get out to the world the secret that not many people know about it unless you're from around here. So if you'd like, if we can just introduce yourself and kind of a little bit of your background, where you grew up a little bit, and how you got to Arab, Alabama.
Alex here. I'll be 55 May. This coming May 14. I've been doing this. I started illegally or legally back in '83 at my uncle's restaurant. And
what's illegal about it?
No, I was 14.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Child labor laws.
Okay.
So, when you work in the family, there's no labor laws.
Sure.
So you have to just go to school and work. Mm-hmm. And that's how I started. And
where was this at?
Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, back in the early 80s. And all my family migrated in the 60s, 70s. Some of my grandmother's brothers came to the Chicago area back in the late 30s. So some of my uncles came right after World War II in 48. They migrated. My mom's brothers migrated in their late 40s.
Okay.
And a lot of my uncles, they grew up in the Chicago area. Some grew up in the California. They were pickers. And then when the factories needed more help in the North Chicago, part of Chicago, so they migrated from California to Chicago. And then from Chicago, the factory moved. They used to manufacture drums, drums, cardboard drums. They have metal rings. I don't know if you've seen it for chemicals or for...
okay, yeah. So like 55-gallon drums?
Yeah, 55-gallon drums, but they were made of cardboard.
Gotcha.
And the factory moved from Chicago to Atlanta, and few families move with the factory. And those Mexican families were my family. So we were like the first family that opened restaurants in the Atlanta area. So it was few families. There was not many families, but my uncles and cousins opened the market for the Mexican restaurants.
So when you're talking family, how when I think family, I think immediate family, my wife, my kids. So when you're talking family, you're talking about your entire family, cousins, uncles?
Well, yeah, uncles and cousins.
Okay.
So, yeah.
How big is that family?
My mom had 13,
wow.
12 siblings with my mom.
So you guys all moved together?
No. It's just, it was a progression. I mean, some came first. And first was my grandmother's brothers. And then my grandmother's brothers called my mom's brothers uncles.
Gotcha.
So my uncles came in the 40s.
Okay.
To California. And then from California, they moved to Chicago, and from Chicago to Atlanta.
Right. So you're working in your uncle's restaurant at 14 years old?
Yes, at 14 years old, yes.
It's like 12-hour days?
Yes. Yeah. It was long days or sometimes more than 12
hours. How much
hours.
did they pay you?
Oh, my God, man. It used to be like on Sundays. Sunday I was making bank on Sundays. From 4 a.m, when my uncle will come and pick me up, and he will take a nap while I will chop in onions or whatever. From 4 a.m. to 2 p.m, I was making $50, and it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then from 2 to 9:30, 10 o'clock, when we close the restaurant, my uncle will give me another $30, $40.
Yeah, so $50 for a 14-year-old.
That was a lot.
Back in 86? Is that what you said?
No, 83.
83?
And 83, I was making $90 in one night, one day, Sunday.
Well, that's definitely a motivation, especially for a kid. I remember, I grew up pretty dirt poor.
Yes.
And $1 to go get a pack of gum, that was a big deal. So I couldn't imagine $50 at that age. Yeah. I don't know what I'd do with myself. I think I would work harder to get more, but I don't know if the opportunity wasn't there, and I just didn't seek it or what, but at 14 years old, I had plenty of other things on my mind than actually working.
Well, Sundays in the culture, in the restaurant culture, Sunday was the day off.
Mm-hmm.
But if you work on Sundays, they pay you double. Any other day, I will make $25 for the whole day.
Yeah.
I mean, like it was like I was making in 80 and 86 when I worked legally. I was making $2.95 an hour. So I think it was about the same, $2.90, $2.80, $2.80 an hour.
That's
Less
about
than
what I was
$3.
making when I first.
So yeah, in 86, and I was working for the Olive Garden.
Yeah.
And then the managers noticed that I spoke Spanish and English, and it's like, hey, well, you don't need to be washing dishes. You need to do this and translate and help us. And they put me as a backup kitchen.
Okay.
So that was my first promotion. In my first promotion, they gave me 10 cents an hour raise.
They're trying to rip you off, man.
10 cents an hour. So I was like, man,
Hmm.
can you give me 15? No, 10. And then, so yeah, it was.
So at what point did you decide to go off on your own? I mean, I'm sure that's probably a lot later.
Yes. Then I worked for a company. This actually, with my restaurant, is my fourth job in my entire life. So from there, I went to high school, and right before I graduated, it was like 5 or 6 months before I graduated, my brother moved. My uncle closed his restaurant in the Atlanta area, and they opened in South Carolina. So my brother moved. I was living with my brother, and they moved to Spartanburg, South Carolina. So I was just there by myself with a friend, with a roommate in my brother's house, and we have to make payments.
Yeah.
And I happened to just bought a truck, brand new truck, and pay insurance, and then house bills. And my brother left. I'm like, oh shoot.
Did he give any kind of warning, or did he just like?
Yeah, he did, and it's like, hey, I'm living, and you guys got to pay the bills. I said, okay, cool, we'll see what happens. So, needless to say, well, he was in the middle of divorce, and he had to give the house away. So I started looking for an apartment, and I remember my monthly rent on a nice apartment in the Atlanta area was, I believe, $200. It was around $200.
It ain't nothing like that now.
My car payment, my truck payment was $150, and my insurance was $300. My insurance was double than my car payment.
A month?
A month.
How many tickets did you
Because
have?
I had a bunch of tickets. I did have a bunch of tickets.
Yeah.
And, I was young. I was 17, 18. And I rocked a bunch of tickets.
Yeah. So when did you meet your wife? Was this during the time? Well, I guess we got to go a little bit of order. Did you start working? We had a conversation a while ago about how many restaurants that you were managing at one time. Was that before you got married, or during?
Way before I got married. I met my wife here, by the way.
Okay.
But let's go back. I work in the Atlanta area for this company a little bit over 10 years. And I became a managing partner and a district manager. And it was 2 restaurants that I helped manage in the Louisville area. And the company was Frontera.
Okay.
So Frontera Food Group and Northside Food Group, sorry. So the company I work for, they own, now I think is one of the largest meat processing plants in the Atlanta area. And they have one processing plant in the Carolinas, and they're expanding. I mean, this company, Mr. Sanchez, he's expanding. I mean, he's expanding all over. They have different restaurant themes. They have steakhouses. They have Mexican restaurants. They have an Argentinian restaurant, or several, I don't know how many, and they have a Mexican restaurant. And at one point, he owned grocery stores. I don't know if he still owned the grocery stores, but I know for a fact that he owns radio stations and TV stations now, and restaurants, and he's just a mogul. I mean, he owns all kinds.
Well, that diversity that you have is going to play in a factor to what you're doing now. I'm sure you could probably agree with that.
Yes,
and we'll get to that a little bit later. But I just want to give people that background of you of how and why you're at where you're at now.
Yes,
I mean, you had a diverse background as far as managing multiple different kinds of restaurants, right?
Yes. Well, I did not manage all the restaurants. I only managed the Mexican restaurants. And once I left the company, he grew, expansion. I mean, he expanded, and he invited me to come back and I know I have the doors open. I mean, we're good friends. He's like my best friend. We keep in touch. And no, man, it's all good. I mean, thank you, but no thank you. I'm happy here. I came to Alabama late 87, early 97. I'm sorry, late 97, early 98. So I finally moved in 98, February 8 of 98. And I moved. We opened restaurants.
So what brought you here? I mean, going from Atlanta to Arab, Alabama.
Arab, Alabama. Okay.
That's a pretty big move.
Okay. People that I work with in the Atlanta area, they moved to Alabama.
Okay.
And we're good friends. I mean, some of my best friends were here. I went to school with some of them, and they opened the chain Buena Vista. They have some in Coleman, some in Scottsboro. There used to be one in Gunnersville where I used to work with them. And there was Buena Vistas in the early 2000s. They have like 4 or 6 or 7 Buena Vistas everywhere. There was one in Madison. They closed that one down. So we went to school together in high school in Duluth, Georgia.
Okay.
Gwinnett County. And we were great friends. And they invited me over, check my options. And I said, man, maybe I need to test myself. I need to prove to myself that I can make it without my boss, without the big money. Yeah. So things that you don't do, I was young enough. I thought I was young. I was 28. I was 27, 28. And I sold my house in Atlanta. I put all my eggs in one basket, things you shouldn't not do. And we became partners on restaurants. So we opened 4 restaurants, and Arab was the last restaurant that we opened. We opened one in Sylacauga, one in Rainsville, one in Sardis, and Arab was the 4th that we opened. Mm-hmm. And then my partner at the time, he was going through the middle of divorce, and he quit paying taxes. So I said, man, you can get all the divorces you want, but
I'm out.
I'm out. Taxes, you got to pay your taxes. So
yeah, you usually can't go to jail for divorce, but you can go to jail for taxes.
Tax evasion. So yeah, we learned the hard way, and I told him, man, I got my job in Atlanta. Either buy me or sell me. Either or. I'm not. This is not working.
Yeah.
So he said, well, I said, well, just leave me this and take the rest, and we'll work it out and split the shares, whatever. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
And I stayed in Arab.
Yeah. So where did did you meet your wife while you're?
Yes, I met my wife. I was cleaning parking lots at the time. I was working already in the restaurant, and to make ends meet, to make it happen, I was cleaning parking lots and mowing. I was mowing, and we were cleaning and mowing the grass at the food. I don't know if you remember where right behind Kentucky Fried Chicken is. Now it's a big car dealership.
Yep.
There was a Food World there.
Okay.
Years ago. And I used to clean the parking lot and do the grass on the back.
Okay.
So I will mow, clean up, and clean the parking lot.
And then go work 12 hours at the restaurant.
And then go work at the restaurant. But we will I will mow early in the morning and then clean the parking lots at night. There was a movie gallery there years ago in Papa John's.
Okay.
And there was a CVS pharmacy.
So your wife...
Okay, my wife. Okay, I met my wife. She was a cashier at night at the Food World.
Okay, so your wife's got a pretty prestigious background. Do you want to talk about that or no? As far as her name,
last name Ditto.
Yeah.
Well, she's a Ditto, and Ditto's Landing. It was related. They have some kind of years ago.
Yeah.
So it's part of the Ditto clan, I guess, or. Ditto gang, or
that's what
last name.
Everything around here's got their little gangs. You got all kinds of different last names that are pretty.
Yeah, and she's related to half of the town.
Right.
I mean, Morgan City is. They're related to everybody, so I'd rather not go there. I don't want to get shot or deported.
Oh no, you'll be all right, man.
I mean, deported to the underground.
Sure, yeah, I get it. Don't worry, man. You can come here. We got a compound here. Nobody's going to touch you here. So
Appreciate it.
yeah. So yeah, you met your wife and got married. So did she stop what she was doing and start helping you with you?
Yes. Well, we didn't get married right away.
Right. But
we were needing help. I needed a cashier. I needed a hostess, and I offered her a job, and it just love grew from there.
now wait a minute. You offered her a job.
Yes.
Did you have any kind of ulterior motives? When you
No,
hired her?
no, not at all.
Oh, she's kind of cute. Hey, you want to be a cashier? No. Okay.
No.
All right. Well, I'll take your word on that. I won't push you on that.
Yeah, you can ask her. She's the one that pursued me.
Oh, okay. Heck, all right. Yeah. So now I want to get in the meat and potatoes of this,
Yes.
of the restaurant, of what we're talking about now. I'll tell you, everybody out there, it's called Sierra's.
Yeah.
It says Mexican restaurant,
Yes.
but it's way more than a Mexican restaurant.
Yes.
And every time I would go get something to eat, when I first moved to this area, particularly about 5-6 years ago, I guess
Yes.
it was, I didn't even go down that way that much.
Right.
Because I was so used to what I knew. I was up in the I was up on the northern side of Huntsville, and so I was always used to what I was doing. So when I was here, I was still going. I'm like, man, that's too far away, but not realizing that that's actually closer to me than
Yes.
what I was doing going the other direction. And so we, saw a Mexican restaurant, and I was like, let's go here. And I was like, this is different. Something's different because just the normal, like a quesadilla, the meat is different.
Yes.
I was like, this is way much better. I'm like, how is it? This obviously every different Mexican restaurant has their own recipes or whatever, but it was a different experience for me. And I'd come home,
Right.
and told my family or whoever, I'm like, hey man, and she's like, Billy, you eat Mexican all the time. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, this is different. You need to go. So
Yes.
I finally, so throughout this, past 2 or 3 years now, I've been getting a bunch of people to come out there because it's not just a Mexican restaurant. I mean, the steaks that you guys do, the pork chop. I mean, we can go over your menu if you'd like.
No, that's fine.
But
that's fine.
I think you need to change it from Mexican to I don't even know what
steakhouse or south of the border.
And I'm telling you guys,
Yes.
the steaks there are better than, in my opinion, better than anywhere else you're going to find in this area. Now I'm talking like the top dollar ones. I won't mention their name because I don't want to listen to anybody's stuff. But people in this area know what everybody considers the good steakhouses. I've been in all those places, and your guys' stuff there is better than any of that, in my opinion. And it's a lot more. A lot of my friends that I brought there was like, okay, whatever.
Yes.
You don't go to a Mexican restaurant and eat a steak. And I'm like, I'm telling you, you're going to do this one. And I kind of like force them, like,
yes,
get this. And afterwards, they'd be like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So, which kind of comes back to what I was alluding to earlier, the diversity that you had, your background as far as in Atlanta.
Yes.
How you were able to come up with that kind of variety and that good of quality. If you want to talk a little about your quality, because we've had a tour through your restaurant, and it's unlike most restaurants I've been in. And I used to work in the restaurant industry quite a bit. I remember how things were. And it wasn't just one place. It was majority of the places, it's very, very clean on the outside, but you step back in the back room and it's a total different story.
Yeah, sometimes
they got to keep the customers, hey, this is really pretty well kept up, but don't go back there because it's not the same.
No.
But yours is different.
Yeah. We definitely, you got to take pride of what you do.
Sure.
So my family eats there. I eat there. I take customers all the time to the back. I mean, as I took you guys, and I take anybody to my kitchen. I don't hide anything from anybody. I want to be as transparent as it can be. You got questions, we got answers. And one of the things that pushed me, I was disappointed of eating a hamburger steak on an American restaurant. I was disappointed of eating a steak on a steakhouse. I was disappointed of eating certain things in all the restaurants. Like, man, I can do better. I know better beef, and they're lying to their customers. Mm-hmm. So there are certain things, and don't get me wrong. I mean, sometimes we also, if you're looking for a deal, but we got to be clear. Look, the special is not the prime steak. It's on select or choice, but it's not going to be the tender steak. So I just try to be as honest, or I'm honest to my customers and say, hardest thing for me to sell, it was steaks, pork chops, and shrimp. And people don't put Mexican food with good beef, good shrimp, or good pork chops. So that was my first challenge, convincing people how I'm going to convince my customers, because there's no place that serves my pork chops. There's no place that serves the type of steak that we serve. So we started with choice or higher, and we did great. And to prevent any confusion or any mistake, once you serve prime, you take the guesswork out of everything. We might overcook the steak, but we also offer on a hot plate, on a sizzling plate.
Sure.
And then we offer a cold plate in case, or if you want a medium rare, we'd recommend it to have your steaks 1 degree less or one step down from whatever you wanted, so it can finish cooking on the hot plate. And that's been the key. Just good meat. It's very hard, and I tell my customers, it's very hard to turn a cheap cut into a wonderful steak. When you buy cheap, you serve cheap. When you buy crap, you serve crap.
Yeah.
So we just, man, my kids eat there. I love the fries. I love a good fresh cut fry. So yes, sometimes we have shoestrings, so the kids might like the older fries like McDonald's or Burger King. But man, there's nothing beats a good hand cut fry.
Yeah.
I mean, like old fashioned, like back in the day.
I'd never had, been going there for about a year or two, never had, quite honestly, I don't even remember seeing French fries on the, I'm sure it is on the menu, but I never even thought, once again, Mexico, you don't think of that. And then you're just like, hey, I want to bring you some French fries. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm full. I got way too much, because every time I order something there, it's, it's like this. And you're like, no. It's free. I'm going to bring it to you. You're going to try this. He's like, you like this? I'm like, yeah. You like this? I'm like, yeah. So you brought this plate of fries that had all this stuff on it. And I'm not the kind
the loaded fries. Yeah.
I'm not that kind of guy that eats that kind of stuff. My stuff has to be separated.
Correct.
Because, like I said earlier, I ate like a 12-year-old.
Yes.
But I trusted you enough to, hey, man, I usually don't try this with all that stuff on it, but I'm going to give it a shot. And then the first bite, I was like, oh, my goodness, man. This is awesome. So I haven't had one bad thing out of that place. I
mean, even the salads, when we fix the salad, it comes on an ice cold plate.
Well,
and that's different from every other restaurant.
Well, you go back in your refrigeration system and you look at the stuff that's back there. I mean, it looks fresh, more fresh than any other restaurant I've ever been to. And I've been in the back of, like I said before, many restaurants, even to this day, I'll sneak back there and somebody's stuff, and it ain't like that. But not just you, but other places. So Kaden, when did you start at a young age working there?
Pretty young, but not. I guess pretty young, but not full time.
Yeah. So you're in school still, probably, right?
Currently, no.
Okay.
I was still in school when I started.
Okay.
I did sports, but then quit sports, and then I full-time restaurant.
Yeah.
Towards high school.
Must be pretty hard keeping up with them, I would think.
Oh yeah. Very hard. Very hard to keep up with him.
Well, I know you keep him in line too, and he probably doesn't even know it. Do you notice how much he keeps you in line?
I don't even know.
Well, I'll give you an example. Me and you will talk about something, and then something, we'll get on another subject, and then you'll start something, and he'll look at me and I'm like, yeah, I know he already said that, but just go with it, And I don't mean to have your back as far as doing everything for you, but he knows what you're doing, and he's always watching your back. I don't know, like I said, if you notice that, and that's just one little tiny instance, but he's always, I think, tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
He's always making sure you're on track. I think.
Yes. Yeah. And my kids
keep you from getting sidetracked.
Correct.
I guess is a better way to put
my
that.
wife knows, and they know me. My permanent state is confusion.
Yeah.
So I'm still disarray, and there's like, no, Dad, stay in line. Hey, okay, yeah.
Well, that's just something that's so cool about you and your restaurant and your family, is how enthused you are about what you do.
Yes.
It's almost like you don't seem that it's a job. It's like a passion for you, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
no, 90. I tell you what, it's harder. The older you get, the harder it gets.
Oh yeah, I can relate.
But I tell you what, I do enjoy it. 99.9%. And there's always, you cannot please everybody, and that's in every industry.
Sure.
But no, man, I'm passionate. I love the town. I love the people in this town. And when you love what you do, and you're addicted to the immediate reward, or hey, Alex, that was great, thank you. And then it's I think it's like an addiction, but it's a proof that you're doing the things right, and it's just people's lack of passion in the restaurant industry, because a lot of owners, they get burned easy, and that's why you see restaurants come and go, and I don't mean to brag or anything, but it's not easy, man. It's not easy. Restaurant business is not an easy industry.
Yeah. I got a very, very good friend that's been in business for like the past 25, 30 years here in Huntsville. And some of the, we're very, very close. So we have pretty good conversations about his life and what he deals with. I'm like, man, I don't know if I could deal with which was and I think the biggest problem with him is people is getting good people and keeping good people.
Yes.
I think that's his biggest struggle. And I don't think he can ever step away from it, because he doesn't have anybody that he can trust or have a relationship where, it's going to be fine if I let this go.
Yes.
But you have, I think, next generation probably, who, I don't know if you have any aspirations of taking us over one day, or.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Okay.
Keep doing it.
So is there a time frame that you got, or is this just like, hey, I think he's ready? I mean,
do
you want to travel?
No,
do you want to go?
No, I love to travel. We do travel, and I'll tell you what, the first 3 years before my wife and I were an item or whatever, the first 3 years, I did not take a day off, and I worked my butt off the first 3 years. Then the next probably 15 years, so the first 18 years, my wife and I, we have to take vacations separate. Up to maybe in the last 7 or 7 years, we were able to take vacations together, because it's so hard. It's very hard. We do count with a close, I call it my nucleus of the restaurant, my core. This guy's been with me over 20 years. Some of the guys, the main cook has been with me 24 years. His brother, the ones that makes the fries and the chips and prepares the rice, and the prep guys, his brother's been with me almost 23 years. The next prep guy's been with me 15 years. And then the grill guy's been with me, he's my cousin, 6 years.
Well, it's a testament, I think, to you and how you run things, of, because people can always find different jobs, different places.
Oh, yeah.
So what would keep you at a job is being happy with what you're doing and who you're working for. And that, honestly, you can see the same passion. Yeah. Probably not as enthusiastic as you, because you own the place, but you see that they're, I mentioned to you while we're there, I'm like, man, these guys, they all look happy. I'm like,
well, you went in my kitchen when I was grilling.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember.
Say that one more time.
You went to last time I saw you, I was on the grill.
I didn't know you were on the grill.
Did you saw me in the grill?
I'd asked, I don't remember how that happened. I'd asked if you were here.
Yeah, hey, he's in the back.
But then you had come out and said, hey, he's busy or something. Then we went back there and you were doing something. Yeah, I didn't know you were on the grill.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm on the grill. I used to be on the grill every weekend. And probably the last 5 years, I have taken a break. But I have to still cook for some of my special customers. And that's a cook. I enjoy cooking. And I show my guys the techniques. But one of the key factors on a restaurant business, you have to put your people, my core people first. My customers come second. Yeah. And it's bad to say, but
you're not allowed to say that in a business like
that. But I'll tell you what, it has worked. When I put my people first, like Celso, my server, he's not my server. I consider like a co-worker. I'm not better than nobody. They're not better than me. I'm not better than them. So I'm an equal. Yeah. So that's when I cook, I'm an equal as them. And I ask permission. Hey man, do you mind if I step? Oh, okay, come on. So I ask permission to my guys. And I used to cook for them Wednesdays and Saturdays. Now Saturday's pizza night. And I used to cook.
What?
Yeah, pizza night. For the guys.
For the guys.
Oh, okay. For the guys, we order pizza.
That's something else I didn't know.
So we asked what's their favorite pizza, and we go Papa John's.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we buy pizza for the guys.
Okay.
And or any other day we will cook. I will cook a big pot or something. We will cook. For example, I will do certain dishes with steak or carne asada or tacos or beef tongue. I mean, I can cook anything they want, and if they craving, and it's a delicacy sometimes, and sometimes might sound not appealing to most of my regular customers, but some dishes are delicious.
Yeah.
So we will cook breakfast, or I will ask some of the guys, hey, let's do 20 eggs, and I'm gonna do eggs for breakfast for everybody, or late breakfast, or I will do steak for everybody, or I have not done it lately, but the guys still cook for a lot, and I pitch in on or if they need a special ingredient, like a special vegetable or whatever that we don't have in the restaurant, I'll order it. Yeah. Like cactus, we will order cactus.
You eat cactus?
Leaf? Yes, I gotta let you try some cactus.
Hey man, I'm willing to try anything with you. I mean, I trust you.
Yes.
So yeah, anytime well, the next thing we're gonna have up there, we already talked about it, the tomahawk.
Yeah, tomahawks. Yes.
So I'll let you know.
Yes.
Probably within a month, I think he'll be back up here.
Yeah.
So how much time frame you need?
No, give me a week. I mean, a week.
Okay.
Yeah. That way I can order the tomahawks.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really. I wish I didn't have to wait on him and just do it now, but I promise we'd wait. So
yeah,
yeah. So a tomahawk. I mean, just alone a tomahawk. Yeah. What steakhouse in this area serves tomahawks?
Oh no, nobody.
I mean, do you know? I mean, can you even think of anybody?
Not even Huntsville.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not even Huntsville. No.
Yeah, and that's why it's almost like I've talked about a little bit on a different subject, but. It's almost like when you have a secret, you don't really want a bunch of other people knowing because you think, okay, everybody's going to come in there and they're going to run it. It's a perfect atmosphere, perfect amount of people that's there most of the time. I mean, obviously sometimes it gets very, very busy, and sometimes you go in there and, during the off hours, you can kind of have your own place almost to yourself. Yeah, tomahawk at the Mexican restaurant.
Go figure.
Yeah. So on a professional level, how is it with working with your dad and interacting with the other employees? I mean, do you take his same philosophy as, everybody knows that you're his son and they're probably act a different way, maybe. But it sounds like that you have an atmosphere that it doesn't matter who's your son or whatever. You're all equal, and you're not really over me or whatever you want to say. So I'm imagining it's more of like a family atmosphere than a hey, I'm your boss, do what I say type thing.
Yeah, we consider everybody as a family. Yeah. A lot of them are young. Some of them are my age.
Yeah.
Like brothers. Mm. But I've definitely learned a lot from my dad.
Yeah.
I love to learned a bunch.
Sure.
Not to do and to do.
Yeah,
a bunch of not to do.
Yeah, I'm the perfect example of what not to do. So you can learn everything, maybe not what to do.
I call them life lessons. Life lessons. Yeah. Learn.
And I don't know if you want to get into this or not, but I'm going to bring it up. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine.
Sure.
I guess we don't have to talk about specific, but the pay for your employees, I think is, it's notable on what you do with these guys and at the age that they're at that you do it.
Yes.
I think it's amazing. You don't hear, that's the first time I've ever heard anybody do something like that. And honest with you, when I was thinking about doing different businesses here when I first moved here, I talked to my wife about this. I was like, if I ever do this, we're going to make sure that whoever's working for us is going to be highly compensated, but they got to be good. Yes. I'm not just going to pay somebody good because, hey, you're working here.
Did you show up? No.
I want to reward people for, being loyal and helping me grow. Okay, so if I grow, hey, you're going to grow with me.
Correct.
And like I said, I don't know if you want to talk about specifics, but maybe you can talk about a little bit with what you do with these guys as far as pay goes and some of the benefits that you give them.
So, for example, one of the things we do, and I want to compensate my guys, I want them to make a good wages. Good wages go a long way. It doesn't matter if they have family in Mexico or they have family here. You have to pay a fair wage for them to make a living, for them to make it okay. Mm-hmm. So if their family is okay and they're okay, you're going to have good coworkers for life. Yeah. And if they know you got their back and they know they can count on you on the good times and the bad times, especially on the bad times, man, you got coworkers for life.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we do, and I don't know if maybe is this what we talk about. The guys have been with me 20 plus years.
Mhm.
I tell them, hey guys, this is your bonus. This is for whatever you want to take some time off. Take as much time off you need. And if you want to work somewhere else, and if they pay you better and they treat you better, just stay there.
Yeah.
And it has happened. They go on their time off and they try and they see, and they're not dumb. My guys, they're not dumb.
Sure.
They go check and they question, and they know that they're not going to be treated or be compensated as good.
Yeah.
So they decide to stay.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we did talk specifics as far as salaries and stuff,
Amounts.
and we're not going to
well, no,
reveal it. But I'm telling you, it's a lot more than normal.
Oh yeah, they make way
with this industry.
Wait, yeah. For restaurant, yes.
Yeah. And I like to also talk about. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Before
No, and especially my key element, my core guys.
Yeah.
The ones that are there, day and night. The ones that are there full time.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to compensate them.
Yeah, and some of the the high school students and stuff that you have in there.
Okay.
We talked about some of
Yes. Now for high school kids, if they make straight A's, they get $1 extra. But we got to wait for the first 9 weeks, and they keep their A in the first 9 weeks. They get $1 extra an hour,
Mhm.
and we don't start them at minimum wage. We start them probably at $9 or $10, and according to if they show up on time, if they learn the menu, there's certain things that they have to, which is simple, but they got to know the menu. They got to know how to add, do the tax percent, and do a percentage for the servers or whatever it is, other tickets and certain things, that is required for them to know.
Yeah. Okay.
So
so that $1 every 9 weeks. So
it's not every 9 weeks. So they will keep $1 we let them go the first 9 weeks. So on a school year, there's 2 9 weeks, or how many weeks?
That doesn't sound right. There's 4.
9 weeks.
4 9 weeks.
Okay.
And then,
So once they were the first 9 weeks, we give them the raise.
Gotcha.
They get to keep the raise if they keep. We don't go down.
Right.
We give them a shot. We hire them in the middle of the school year, or we hire in the beginning. It doesn't matter. The next year, let's say they're junior or sophomore. So when they're sophomore and they work 9 weeks, they get $1. And then when they become junior, they get their first 9 weeks. They keep their 9 weeks. They keep their A's.
Mhm.
We give them another $1.
Yeah.
When they become senior, we give them another $1 on the first 9 weeks.
Gotcha.
And then they keep it.
Yeah.
When they go to college, they get a bonus. Cash. No questions asked.
Are you hiring?
And we also do.
I'm looking for a job change.
This is our second year doing scholarships.
scholarships. Yeah.
So now we're going to do five scholarships.
That's really cool, man. Not only that, what you're doing for your employees, but what you do for the community.
Yes.
Do you even want to talk about that? Because I know you're kind of reserved on what you do.
Well, no.
How about if we just put it like this? You do a lot for the community that people don't even know that you're doing it.
Yes.
Which is even cooler because a lot of people do volunteer stuff.
Correct.
So everybody sees, hey, look what I'm doing. I'm volunteering.
No.
You do. Well, not just you, but your family too.
Correct. I'm a firm believer that don't let the right hand what the left is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So just let it, do it. And if you get recognition, fine. And I'm another firm believer that what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So, I can tell what we do, but, it's mainly my wife makes me a better man. And I let her do a lot of this stuff. And she will tell me, hey, we did this and this and this. Like, I did not know that she did certain things, that she put family in hotels when the snow came and the ice. And she put people on a hotel room. It's like, man, that's cool. That's fine. Yeah. Certain things. And we do a package. She does packages for girls for the Army or the Navy or whatever armed forces.
Yeah.
they have I don't know what it's called. You put a shoebox,
Little care package.
care packages, but
Yep.
it has to fit on a shoebox.
Mhm.
So if the girls are missing
Whatever.
hygiene,
Yeah.
whatever they need, candy.
We had care packages when I was deployed.
Yes.
And
So,
you don't think it means much because it seems like very small things.
yes.
But when you're over in the middle of nowhere,
Yes.
you don't see nothing around you and
Yes.
everything's foreign, and you
Yes.
get something like that back from the States, it does mean a lot. So being a recipient of stuff like that, I can tell you that it does mean something, that you're not
Yes.
just wasting your time. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. And my oldest son was in the Navy.
Okay.
He did 6 years in the Navy, and it's like, yeah, we support our armed forces.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I want to talk a little bit also about the restaurant itself. I know you had most, if not everything, to do with the inside of the restaurant, as far as the seating, the painting,
Yes.
everything in there. You had either did it yourself or was very intricate on what you wanted.
Or hands-on. Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to, me and the editor and the producer here are going to be coming there and probably taking some video and pictures and stuff.
Sure.
So the stuff that we're talking about right now, you're going to be able to see in the video of what we're talking about. But it's very, very, I've been in there 1,000 times and I didn't know, me being a guy, I don't really notice that kind of stuff. But when you kind of explain the whole atmosphere, I was like, oh man, that is really, really cool. And I never would have thought about it until you explained what you were going for there.
Well, and a lot of times, I tell you what, is necessity. When you lack of money, the creative juices, they just start flowing. So when you have a lack of money and you got wood, it's like, hey, man, we need so many tables. Well, I got wood and I know where a sawmill is, or I know where cabinet shop is. And I'm friends with the cabinet shop guy, that the owner of the cabinet shop. So when you don't have money and you get creative.
So all those tables in there were handmade by you?
No, not by me. I help.
Yeah.
I help.
Okay.
I help because I didn't have enough money to pay the guy.
Right.
And he's a good friend. He's a good friend.
Okay.
We became good friends because when he needed money, I was there. And when I needed help, he was there for me.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Like from sitting into the main dining area,
Yes.
it's kind of like a terrace kind of thing. Am I correct in that?
Correct.
It's like a terrace, and if you look out on the walls, it's kind of like you're inside the terrace and you're looking outside.
You're looking outside, yes.
You're looking outside, and you can see people walking around in the town.
Correct.
And then if you look towards the back, everybody's cooking back there.
Everybody's in the kitchen.
Well, as far as like the painting goes,
Correct.
which is really cool. I never really put two and two together.
Yeah, that was my idea, to have it like in a small town in Mexico. And the lady that painted those, it took her a couple months to do everything. And she was traveling from Huntsville to Arab. So I have she was a true artist. She was a true.
Oh yeah, you can tell.
And
I honestly thought it was wallpaper.
No. Everybody thinks it's wallpaper.
I mean,
A lot of people think they don't realize it's hand painted.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's still alive, Miss Kurtz, Peggy Kurtz. And I hope she's still alive. But a lot of artists, they have a different mindset. They think different.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And she had different beliefs, and she was very unique.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. I don't want to criticize an artist.
Yeah.
So she will clock in because I have to pay her traveling time, a cup of coffee, and traveling time
Back home.
back. Yes, from the restaurant and back home.
Yeah.
So I told her, look, forget the 40-minute drive or 45 minutes. I'll pay you an hour and I'll pay you a cup of coffee. No worries. I had to include breakfast and lunch, 2 meals. That's fine. I'll buy you dinner too.
Sure.
No worries. Just come and
Get
help.
this done.
Let's get it done. Yes. So she did everything with charcoal first. And we looked for a neutral color. And I don't know if you're familiar with murals. So that's what I wanted. So this is what it was.
Gotcha.
Not in the mural sense of doing it's called yeso, the background in yeso, or it's yeso is chalk.
Okay.
Chalk. I don't know how to say yeso, but anyway, it's
Chalk.
So you do your finish on your wall as chalk.
Yeah.
And it has to be fresh. So it's called a fresco.
Okay.
The frescoes from the artist, and we're nothing like that. We did it on the budget. I told Miss Kurtz, look, I pay you whatever, and I think we end up. I don't remember if it was she was making $8 an hour or $12 an hour, but it was worth it because she also can carve on wood. She was a full artist.
Sure.
She made the little kids, and she did 2 columns that I moved there in storage, and she did all their art for me. But she was very peculiar, and she was when she started working with us, she was atheist, maybe, and she had certain beliefs, and then she became a different religion. I think it was Jehovah's Witness. Yes, and that's fine. Whatever religion. I admire your art. She captured my idea.
Sure.
I sketched my idea. I told her how I wanted certain things. And she was on the Peace Corps too.
Okay.
So that's how she knew. She knew some Spanish. She did, I don't know how many years in Guatemala or Costa Rica or Central America. And she told me she was on the Peace Corps. And also she was married to, she had an abuse marriage. And I think her husband was Cuban. So maybe, I don't know.
Are you saying Cubans are high-headed?
No. I don't want to, I'm going.
I'll say it. I'll relieve you from it. Cubans are high-headed. I know a lot of them.
Yes.
So.
Sorry, I took a left turn out of Albuquerque, so let me get back. So she was very peculiar. She was very, very different.
Yeah.
And she was going to do more, but then we hang the Virgin Mary. And she didn't like it.
Don't put that on my art.
No, don't put that on my art. And she left. She left mad. She never came back. So she put we put an image. We put an image, Christian, Catholic image, and she did not like it. And she left. She came back as a customer.
Yeah,
but she did not like there's a Virgin of Guadalupe, which is the Virgin Mary for the Mexican Catholics, and she did not appreciate that, and she left. She left mad. But
well, she'll get over it.
Yeah.
Well, regardless of what she thinks about that, she's got to be proud of what she did.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we are.
And then, to spend that much time, I don't know how long it took her, but
it took her a couple months.
Yeah.
Couple months.
So, I mean, it's very, very ornate.
Yes.
And like I said, and when I say I thought it was wallpaper, that's a compliment because, usually you print something out and stick it on the wall. I mean, it's so detailed, you would think, okay, nobody in my pea brain here, okay, who's going to spend that much time doing all that stuff?
Yes.
But it's very, very cool inside there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about if you want to pick up that magazine there and show this camera over here, this one right here.
Okay.
Alabama Living. How did they?
Here, Kaden.
They don't.
We don't want to.
Yeah, we can't damage that.
Yes.
So, how was your approach to that? Did you contact them? And
no.
And then how has it been since that's come out? As far as
our president from Stacy White is the president of the Electric Co-op.
Okay.
She said, "Hey, Alex, we need to feature. I think it'd be great if we feature your restaurant and they're good customers and we became good friends and we done some parties for the co-op. We do a lot of the caterings for the co-op." For the appreciation or for the board or for whatever, they come and ask us to bring steaks or food or whatever for the co-op. And we've been doing it for years. So I don't know. I had no idea that we were going to make the front page, really. And this happened late December, early January when we were approached. And they say, oh, well, you're going to be featured probably in March or April or I really don't know. So they came to us and, hey, the reporter came, a super nice lady. And, she did the interview and she took a couple pictures and she said, hey, I just want a couple pictures of your food and something like what you're doing. I want to do an interview with you, your wife and your son. And the rest is history. It's like, man, it's been great.
How's it affected the business? I know you talked about
it's been a positive, very positive thing. I I didn't realize the impact of the publication, and I didn't realize it goes to a lot of co-ops of the state, or maybe the whole entire state.
Yeah, it's Alabama Living in it. It doesn't say Huntsville area living.
No.
I'm sure it goes out everywhere.
Yeah, even on border towns with Alabama, whatever, if they get the electricity from Alabama, Mississippi, we have friends that live in Mississippi and they get their power from Alabama.
Gotcha.
They got the magazine, but with different cover.
Okay.
That's the only thing different.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I know you guys are kind of on your break or whatever, and you got to get back to your restaurant. Is there anything that you all want to talk about or promote before we get out of here?
No. Just come try it and come to a friendly atmosphere, good, honest food, and check it out.
Absolutely. I can tell you from experience, I'm there. I'm looking at the camera here.
Oh, okay. Yes.
What are you looking at? The ghost over there. I can tell you from experience, I mean, I'm there probably 2-3 times a week.
Yes.
sometimes once a week. But I bug the crap out of my family all the time because they're like, hey, we're hungry. I'm like, well, let's go to Sierra's. And they're like,
again.
So a lot of times I'll go and I always bring Mark because, he's my little date buddy, I guess you can call him. So he goes with me, and then I have to bring everything back. Sometimes Nate goes. But you can't go wrong with anything that you order from this place. It's up, I don't know the exact address. What's the exact address?
1092 North Brindley Mountain Parkway, Arab, Alabama. Sierras.
So no matter where you're at, I promise you it's worth the drive.
Yes.
You're going to get there and you're going to be surprised. The hardest thing you're going to have is to choose exactly what you want.
Correct.
Because if you want to go there, hey, let's go to a Mexican restaurant. Yeah, you're going to get great Mexican food. But, it's going to be kind of, I know it's hard to trust somebody that you don't know. Maybe you do know me who's out there. But you just got to have a little faith to go out there and try the steaks and everything else. So on that note, we're going to end it. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Yes. You guys are always busy. I know I've seen it, how busy you guys are, but I know it takes a lot to come out here. So look forward to seeing you again.
This coming July will be 25 years.
25 years.
25 years there.
You're going to have a siesta?
We'll fiesta. Fiesta, yeah.
Siesta. What's siesta? Oh,
nap time. Sorry, man. No, but we'll have something. We're planning on things.
You know what? Something I was going to bring up too. I know we're cutting off here, but if you give me a couple more minutes of your time.
Sure.
Have you ever, not that I even know if I even want this or not, but have you ever thought about doing like a little musical thing, like music guys in the back? Or
sure.
Because, some of the restaurants I've been, they'll have like a Taco Tuesday or whatever, or a Thursday night,
Correct.
They'll have like a little entertainment thing. And I'm not talking like a full rock band,
Correct.
But, like a 1-piece or 2-piece guy that come in there. Have you done that in the past?
Right before COVID. I don't know if you know Jesse Priest.
No.
He's a guy, he's local. Well, he's not local, but he came he did one time.
I think it's twice. Yeah, a couple times.
He came a couple times, but we used to have the kids, the high school kids.
Okay.
There was a group of high school kids, and some were already out of high school and college. And every Tuesday
night,
they came for probably 2.5 years.
Oh, okay.
We have bluegrass.
Okay.
Before COVID. COVID came and ruined everything because we used to put them in the back where the buffet used to be.
Yeah.
And we have more room. Now it's a little bit tighter. But once if we do something outside on the patio, or we call it a patio, but we don't even have a patio, but maybe we can bring some entertainment on the outside and let people, have.
That would be pretty cool. I never even thought about that.
Yes.
Put a couple little tables out in the front.
Yeah. When we first opened, we did have 3 or 4 tables outside.
Okay.
And things change and, but maybe we'll do something. Maybe I'll move a booth or something, or maybe on the other side, on the private area, we maybe have more room for a guy on a guitar or something. Yeah.
So the event you're going to have is in July time?
July 1st. It'll be our official 25th.
All right. So we'll look forward to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be in town for that. So I'll be there.
Mother's Day, we might get, I'm going to try to get, maybe we always do something special. Maybe chocolate covered strawberries, and we'll do a steak special. We'll do something.
Okay.
We always do something for Mother's Day.
Sweet.
Mother's Day and Valentine's. We do something special.
All right, you heard it from the guy's mouth. Go to Sierra's. If you don't, you're a loser.
No,
No, you ain't got to say it. I'm saying it. No, So, anyway, like I said, thanks again for your time, and
Yeah, man.
we'll see you guys next time.